Special Pączki Day drinks with Detroit City Distillery. Plus, I'll have a chat with one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. That's this Tuesday on the Megacast, weekdays at 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
When the temperatures are chilly, being together warms the soul. Keep the winter fun going. Help protect yourself and those around you by keeping your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Hello, nose. My nose knows is when somebody uses the bathroom. Mom, Pauline didn't flush. Ooh, I smell cookies.
I smell an A+.
How could my nose be running when it stays on my face?
Our noses know if those sniffles are just a cold, allergies, or COVID-19. So swab it. Test it. It's good to know. There are many different kinds of noses. Our noses can sniff out all kinds of things. Good things and bad things. Your nose knows if those sniffles are just a cold, allergies, or COVID-19. So swab it. Test it. It's good to know.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
You're listening to your radio homes for the Megacast, 89.3 WBLD Orchard Lake and 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills. Today's edition of the Megacast begins now. Welcome to the Megacast, our live daily TV, radio, and streaming show talking about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Today, we'll be talking to a number of people about topics of interest and importance to Michiganders just like you. Let's begin with what's making headlines today on our local news page on civiccentertv.com. Our first story comes from Frank Witzel at the Detroit Free Press. Your cold commute this morning just got a bit colder, or this afternoon, if you're heading to the gas station, as the average price of gas per gallon in Michigan has risen over the last week, jumping 10 cents per gallon to an average price of $3.47 per gallon. The culprit continues to be increasing demand for gas, as well as increasing prices for a barrel of oil, according to Adrian Woodland from AAA. Just a month ago, during the holidays, prices were 37 cents lower than they are today, and today's average price is about 25 cents above the average per gallon price of gas this time a year ago. So there's the statewide average price is $3.47 per gallon at this time, with Metro Detroit a bit higher than that and just a cent below the national average, where Detroit currently sits at $3.50 per gallon. You'll have to take a little bit of a hike to get the cheapest prices in the state, with those being Benton Harbor at $3.35 per gallon, Traverse City at $3.37 per gallon, and Grand Rapids at $3.41 per gallon, 6 cents below the statewide average. Also making headlines today from you, Stella Yu, and John Osting at Bridge, Michigan. Berkeley Representative Natalie Price has come under fire after casting a vote in person last week in Lansing, just a day after testing positive for COVID-19. House Speaker Joe Tate's spokesperson Amber McCann says that Representative Price, quote, wore an appropriate mask and voted from the gallery to ensure social distancing. She was otherwise not present and only entered the building to vote, and closed quote. But rules are rules, and according to the House of Representatives website, the State House, the COVID-19 guidelines state that positive testing individuals, in line with CDC guidelines, are to remain home for at least 5 days following their positive test results. In this case, Representative Price had cast her vote in person the day after testing positive. In response to the controversy, Representative Price stated, quote, I showed up to vote in support of bills that will bring much needed economic relief to hardworking Michiganders. I remained in my car until it was time to vote and then proceeded to vote from the gallery. I remained far more than 6 feet away from everyone and wore a mask the entire time I was in the building. I took all precautions I could to protect the health and safety of my colleagues while fulfilling my responsibility, and closed quote. As marked in this article, Representative Price's vote was not significant in the passing of this bill, which passed with flying colors in a landslide last week. Republicans, including Representative Angela Riggs, a Republican from Caledonia Township, called the decision, even with precautions that were taken, quote, hypocritical, and closed quote. Continuing on by saying, quote, Democrats in Michigan are so desperate, foolish, and disorganized that they put the lives and health of all of us at risk by allowing Representative Price to be present for their radical, reckless spending spree of a vote, and closed quote. Finally, making headlines today on civiccentertv.com's local news page from the Associated Press via the Detroit Free Press, former Dr. Frank Patino was sentenced on Monday to 17 years in prison and to pay $30 million in restitution for leading a fraudulent scheme wrongfully billing Medicare and private insurance for unnecessary painkiller treatments and opioid prescriptions. Prosecutors called the scheme one of the, quote, most egregious healthcare schemes in U.S. history, and closed quote, that according to this article from the Associated Press. So Patino made bank while he made his patients addicted to opiates. Patino, however, insists that he is innocent, has hired a new attorney, in fact, in order to seek another trial, with his new attorney claiming that his initial representation, quote, botched, and closed quote, his defense, again, according to this article. Said Patino's new lawyer, Martin Crandall, quote, it just doesn't fit for him to be involved in philanthropy for all those years and to be committing these crimes, and closed quote, referencing then Dr. Patino's work overseas in Doctors Without Borders like programs, working on patients outside of the country as that philanthropic work. All of those headlines are making news today on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page, along with links to COVID-19 updates from the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division. We have a great show ahead on this edition of the Megacast. Coming up next, We'll preview the upcoming production of the Farmington Players that begins later on this week. You don't want to miss that and learn more about their upcoming show. This is the Megacast.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important.
And now the same is true in the face of flu.
Influenza has the power to infect millions.
But it's easy to protect yourself, your family, and your community.
The flu vaccine is safe and effective. And with COVID-19 still around,
it's essential. Together we can face flu season head on.
Visit michigan.gov/flu.
Ronnie started doing prescription pills at the age of 15, and by 19, he died. If your child is struggling with drug use, try not to be too proud to reach out for help. Don't be worried about what the neighbor will think or your family. Just get your child the help they need. Sometimes it's the hard road to take, but the hard road is nothing compared to living with the fact that your child is no longer with you.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live daily TV, radio, and streaming show talking about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. You can learn more about our program on our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast. We'll find all of our full shows and each individual interview segment on demand, as well as information from some of your local stations on TV, radio, and on the web covering your local area, including in northern Oakland County, live to tape each and every day of the week in Orion Township on Orion Neighborhood Television here in the Lakes area. In addition to our flagship stations, you can also find us on the media network of Waterford and plenty of other TV, radio, and streaming outlets on the web all across the state of Michigan. civiccentertv.com/megacast is the place to go for all of that. Joining us now on the program are David Renke and Ellie Hanick from the Farmington Players with their upcoming show premiering this week on February 2nd. We thank you both for joining us today. Tell us more about this upcoming program, about this upcoming show. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, glad to have you both on. And so it's another one of your shows in your third of 4 sets of shows for the 2022-2023 calendar before, of course, next fall we'll begin your 2023-2024 calendar. So 3 out of 4, this is the third out of the 4th shows that you're showing over the course of this calendar year and last calendar year. Tell us about Wait Until Dark and why audiences should be excited to come see this in just a couple of weeks when it begins on February 3rd.
Well, Wait Until Dark is it's a classic drama, thriller. It was first went on Broadway in 1966, which premiered with Lee Remick and Robert Duvall. It was made into a movie in 1967 with Audrey Hepburn and Alan Arkin, and it's a fantastic thriller that has really stood the test of time. And will really keep you on the edge of your seats from the beginning to the end. One of my characters is one of the con men. And basically what happens is a blind woman is, her husband has inadvertently brought a doll filled with heroin back over from Canada. And it is somehow lost in the apartment. And a drug dealing con man, as well as with 2 ex-convicts, who I play one of the ex-convicts, are trying to con the blind woman into trying to get the doll back. And Ellie, maybe you can tell them a little bit about your character.
Yeah, so I play Gloria. Gloria is Susie's young neighbor who lives in the apartment upstairs. And when Susie, who is the blind woman, most needs sight, Gloria kind of plays her eyes.
And you can find more information on the show as well as get tickets for their first showing on Friday, February 3rd at 8 p.m. And they'll also have another 8 p.m. show on the Saturday after that on the 4th. and a matinee at 2 p.m. on that Sunday, the first weekend of the month of February, by going to their website, farmingtonplayers.org, farmingtonplayers.org. And again, the show is called Wait Until Dark. Wait Until Dark is the program. And, this is a relatively older production, having been first done in 1966. Of course, as you mentioned, David, then having a movie coming out in 1967 that tells the story, but it holds up really well between then and now, even though there's differences between the era, certainly differences between the eras when this was first being shown and today. But what about this show in particular makes this so compelling in our modern world, and something that people will love to see on one of our local community theater stages?
Well, I think for us, it was something that, we all rely on our sight, where Susie has to use her blindness as an advantage to try to, figure her way out around what the con men are trying to do. And then there's just a big dramatic scene. I don't want to give anything away, but it basically, a lot of it takes place in darkness, where she kind of is trying to turn the tables on the con men on there. And it is really compelling. It will keep you on the edge from beginning to end. And I think that it's something that the audience can really enjoy, and they can hopefully root for the heroine on there. Allie, is there anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah. So something that I really, really love about the show is just how, like Dave said, Susie using her blindness as an advantage and having to throw the con men into that kind of a situation.
Yeah, and so as we're seeing this play now go into the Farmington Players, it was originally a Broadway show in the 60s, and of course was then turned into a major Hollywood film as well. And it's different when you're taking a show from its Broadway roots down to a community theater level, because of resources, because of time for rehearsal, and the extent of those rehearsals over time. And so for the two of you, as you and the rest of the cast and the crew are preparing for Wait Until Dark, being produced at the Farmington Players, how do you translate that big Broadway show into the community theater aspect, and still, tell the story in its ever compelling way, and create the scene for that audience to be seated in and immerse themselves in this show?
Oh, that's a great question. I think for us, we have to delve into the source material. We have to be able to understand what the times were about, because obviously the 60s were quite different than the 21st century and everything. Things like cell phones, things like we use a rotary phone, and who in the world remembers a rotary phone anymore, or anything, trying to rely on a pay phone, and stuff like that. So it really is trying to bring together that kind of an uneasy feeling from the beginning, where you see these con men and you meet them. Then you see Susie, who is blind, and she's adjusting because she's been newly blind within the last year with her husband. And then her relationship with Gloria, and what Gloria then brings as far as trying to help Susie turn the tables on the con men. And Ellie, anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah, something I love about the Farmington Players is the setting is so intimate. It is a very nice theater, and it is going to be really easy for the audience to get sucked in. We're actually sitting on our beautiful set right now, and I'm very excited to see what the audience thinks about this show.
And in terms of your individual characters, let's start with you, Ellie. What connects you to your character and helps you to prepare for a show like this, and to express, express her perspective to the audience in a way that you do?
Well, there's a small incident with Gloria at the very beginning of the show, and then she kind of grows a lot during the show. She becomes a lot more considerate towards Susie as the show progresses. And I think that's a really nice transition. As far as what I've done, I've worked pretty hard on trying to get in the mindset of Gloria. Me and Barbie Weiserman, who plays Susie, have worked a lot outside of rehearsals on just what our character's relationship is. And I think it's going to be a really great thing to show to the audience.
And David, same question to you as you're playing, as you mentioned earlier, an ex-con in this story that's full of a bunch of con artists trying to prey on this blind woman. It can be tough to connect with a character like that for us that aren't out here conning people on the regular. But for you to play a character of that kind of villainous nature and with that kind of a story arc too, how do you then connect with that character to pull off your acting on the stage for Wait Until Dark?
Well, for me, I try to look at what is my character's backstory. Like, we start off the show with me and Tim Timmer, who plays the character Mike. We meet each other in Susie's apartment because we've been contacted by the Harry Rote Jr., who is played by Lance Allen. And he's the one who's kind of setting up the con for us to get sucked in with him and everything. And so we're kind of trying to figure our way, but basically it's kind of we're about greed. We just got out of prison. We want money, and we don't kind of care how we get about it. We're used to conning people out of their money, even though we've been caught before. And he's kind of Harry Rote, who is a very, very evil character that I think everybody is going to be wanting to, not have him win, but he's a very smart guy on that. So he is basically kind of getting us sucked in to this con that we have no choice but to keep participating in it. And like I said, it is, even though it's kind of a thriller, it will keep you on the edges of your seat. I think it's something that the audience will really enjoy because they'll be rooting for Susie, and especially using her blindness to her advantage.
We're joined on the show today by David Ranke and Ellie Hanick from the Farmington Players. The production of Wait Until Dark begins on Friday, February 3rd at 8 p.m. at the Farmington Players and runs through Saturday, February 18th. So over that 15-day period, plenty of opportunities to see the show at the Farmington Players. Go to their website, farmingtonplayers.org, for more information, farmingtonplayers.org, and you can also call them at 248-553-2955, 248-553-2955 for more information and to purchase tickets over the phone as well. farmingtonplayers.org, their website. And again, the show begins February 3rd. And there's something special about seeing a show at your local community theater that's different from some of the bigger theaters in the local area or regional theaters. Certainly those big time theaters that you see in Detroit, like the Fox Theater, or going to a Broadway show or an off-Broadway show. There's something special about that intimate environment at your community theater. For you, David, and we'll go on to you, Ellie, also to answer this. What makes that experience special for you on the other side, being on the stage?
Well, part of it is, as Ellie said, we are on our beautiful set right now, and I'm looking out into the audience where we are a smaller, intimate, small as in, 232 seats, but it's, there's not really a bad seat in the house. So whether you're in the front row, which people seem to love the front row, or you're all the way in the back there, there's something that everybody's going to be able to see on here. And being in the intimate nature, I think it's going to also draw in the edge of your seat thriller aspect of the show. Ellie, anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah, so something, like I said earlier, I really love about this show, which apparently there's a lot of things, is getting to tell the story, just people being able to see what's going on right in front of them, which is a lot different than just watching a movie or a TV show. Because people being right in front of you is just an incredible experience, and you get to really feel what they're feeling.
Find more information on Wait Until Dark, as well as their other shows at the Farmington Players coming up this year and their seasons and beginning next fall and through next year as well at farmingtonplayers.org. Another way you can get involved is to go to farmingtonplayers.org also and learn more and get in contact with them about upcoming shows and ways that you can participate as well. Wait Until Dark begins February 3rd at the Farmington Players. David, Ellie, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.
February 3rd at 8 p.m., another show at 8 p.m. on Saturday, and a matinee 2 p.m. on Sunday, February 5th. They'll do that all over again the next week over on the 10th through the 12th, and then one more week after that, the 16th through the 18th at the Farmington Players, with a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday show on the week of the 16th. So 16th, the 17th, and the 18th will be those final 3 days, but wait until dark begins, February 3rd at the Farmington Players. We'll take a break on the Megacast. On the other side, how you can celebrate Pączki Day without consuming a single Pączki, but only if you're over 21 years old. That's coming up next on the Megacast.
When the temperatures are chilly, being together warms the soul. Keep the winter fun going. Help protect yourself and those around you by keeping your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Hello, nose. My nose knows is when somebody uses the bathroom. Mom, Pauline didn't flush. Ooh, I smell cookies.
I smell an A+. How could my nose be running when it stays on my face?
Our noses know if those sniffles are just a cold, allergies, or COVID-19. So swab it. Test it. It's good to know.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
My Michigan TV is streaming everywhere on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and more smart TV apps. My Michigan TV is on your phone too. Take us with you wherever you go. Just search for My Michigan TV on your favorite app store or visit mymitv.com. All Michigan, streaming everywhere. My Michigan TV.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
I'm Steve Eiserman of the Detroit Red Wings, and I think every child in Michigan deserves a safe, healthy, and happy childhood. Can we build a state where children trust Michigan isn't just a name, but something our kids believe? Please support Children Trust Michigan as the voice for children and families by visiting the website to learn more.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
There are many different kinds of noses. Our noses can sniff out all kinds of things. Good things and bad things. Your nose knows if those sniffles are just a cold, allergies, or COVID-19. So swab it. Test it. It's good to know.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important.
And now the same is true in the face of flu.
Influenza has the power to infect millions.
But it's easy to protect yourself, your family, and your community.
The flu vaccine is safe and effective. And with COVID-19 still around,
It's essential. Together we can face flu season head on.
Visit michigan.gov/flu.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live daily TV, radio, and streaming show talking about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. You can learn more on our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find information on all of our partners, as well as find all of our full episodes and each individual interview on demand. civiccentertv.com/megacast. And we're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties on the back end with our upcoming guest. So we're going to shift things around a little bit and continue on. Normally, we would be speaking to one of over 300 charities and nonprofits at the bottom of our show at about 10:40 on each Tuesday and Friday edition of the Megacast. We're going to do that a little bit earlier today and welcome our next guest on the Megacast, Gail Urso, the co-founder of Kevin's Song. Gail, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on to talk to us about this nonprofit. We've talked to Kevin's Song before on a number of different occasions, before your conferences, and about some of the different issues that Kevin's Song helps address in our communities. But for those that aren't familiar, tell us about Kevin's Song.
Well, Kevin's Song is a nonprofit organization that my husband John and I founded after the death of our son Kevin 10 years ago this March to suicide. Kevin was 41 years old when he died. And although we knew that Kevin had experienced some depression over the years, particularly as an adult, we were just stunned. We had no idea that suicide was a possibility. And we realized after he died that suicide is a public health crisis in our country. And at that time, 10 years ago, it was talked about very little. And so we were, I think, in our grief, wanting to do something. Our inclination was to talk about it so that others would know how common suicide is. So we formed Kevin's Song, and we set out to create a website that would be helpful to people. We wanted to do a documentary film, and we wanted to hold a conference. So 10 years later, I'm pleased to say that all of those things and many more have been accomplished. We have a wonderful website. It's kevinsong.org, which has a lot of information about Kevin's Song and what Kevin's Song does, but it also has some excellent videos. It has books, lots of references. There are resources available. And we keep it current. We also created a film, our first video many years ago with Keith Famey called Death is Not the Answer. But we've gone on to create additional videos that have to do with suicide. And those are available on our website as well. And every year we have a conference. And we have just Saturday actually, completed our 7th annual conference on suicide. This year, the title was Building Roads to a Better Tomorrow. And I am pleased to say it was a huge success. We had around 450 people attend over the 3-day period. On Saturday, let me say, first of all, that Thursday and Friday are days set aside primarily for mental health professionals, educators. We had a special symposium this year for students who are in psychology and social work and planning to be therapists, also medical students. And that was very well attended. We had a school summit, which was directed primarily toward educators, teachers, counselors, administrators. And Friday was more general, but just packed with helpful information from noted experts, local experts, experts from throughout Michigan and throughout the country. But Saturday is a day that we call Survivor Saturday, and it's set aside really for people who have lost someone to suicide or attempt survivors or their families. And it was live streamed with the help of Detroit Public Television and a number of other nonprofit agencies. And we had over 1,500 people as of now view that presentation. So it's very recent that we have just accomplished what we set out to do every year, and probably what we're best known for. And that is this very professional conference. But I always love the fact that people love to be there. It's been called a conference with heart. This year, one of the social workers said to me, whenever I come to this, I feel like I'm being invited into your home. It's held at formerly the Inn at St. John's, now St. John's Resort in Plymouth. And it's just a marvelous atmosphere, and it's a wonderful experience. So we're already, this coming week, we will begin planning for our 2024 conference at the end of January.
And we know that preventing suicide is so much a community effort, not just for that individual and their community that may be considering an attempt or may have attempted and maybe and survived, but also in those unfortunate situations too, where someone has successfully ended their life by suicide. These are situations where having that community around can be so important, and having those resources to know how to cope with these tragedies, and more importantly, how to prevent these tragedies is huge. And that's why it's so important, the work that you and your organization do at Kevin's Song. Again, their website is kevinssong.org. You can also find them through Share Detroit at sharedetroit.org, alongside over 300 other charities and nonprofits doing amazing work here in our local area. And Gail, I understand also that at this time you're looking to hire an executive director for your organization as well. What are you looking for in an executive director for those that may be watching today or listening today and maybe themselves or they know someone that would love to get involved with an organization like yours and help so many people here in our local area?
Well, we're looking for a really spectacular person. Someone who obviously has knowledge about the operations of a nonprofit organization, someone with good people skills, because there's when I say people skills, this person has to be able to relate to our board, volunteers, people who have lost someone to suicide, but also sit across the desk from someone at a foundation or a large company, because of course we're always looking for funds. They have to have the heart for it, but also knowledge that goes with, I won't say so much the mental health world, although that would be preferable, but mostly how a nonprofit works. And I will say that on our website, if they are interested, there is information about how to apply. We have a search firm who is assisting us. So everything is going through this firm, and the contact information is on our website. And we'd be happy to hear from anyone who is interested.
More information can be found on their website, kevinsong.org. You can also inquire by sending an email to gail@kevinsong.org, listed at the top of their website, or call them 313-236-7109. That's 313-236-7109. And you can learn even more information too about this organization, about Kevin Song, and all that they do throughout the year, volunteer opportunities, job opportunities such as the executive director's position, and more, by going to sharedetroit.org, clicking on Find a Nonprofit, and just searching for Kevin Song for more information. Again, kevinsong.org is the website if you'd like to get involved. And we're joined today by Gail Urso, the co-founder of Kevin Song, on the Megacast with us, one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. And in terms of 2023, we know that you accomplished so much last year, and you just had another very successful conference to kick off 2023. What are some of the goals of your organization this year, things that Kevin Song would like to accomplish in continuing to further its mission and help a lot of people, not just here in Michigan, but in places all over the country?
Well, thank you for that question. I will mention that we have a support group for lost survivors, anyone who has lost a loved one, a colleague, a friend to suicide. I can't stress how helpful it is, if you have lost someone to suicide, to be part of a support group, because suicide is an unusual kind of death, and it's complicated. The grief that goes with it is complicated. Oftentimes people feel guilt, or, what did I miss? How did I not know? And but there are many people in that situation who have lost someone, and coming together and sharing their thoughts and feelings about it is just extremely helpful. We have a virtual support group that meets the first Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Again, information is on the website. And then we have an in-person meeting that occurs the third Thursday of each month at Grosse Pointe Memorial Church. That's an East Side group, but there are many other groups throughout the state, and you can find many of those on our website. If you're in northern Michigan, or not in the Metro Detroit area, I know that the AFSP website has a good listing of active support groups, but we think that our support of lost survivors is a very important thing that we do. We also have educational opportunities throughout the year. We've done panel discussions, and because of COVID, many of them in the last few years have been done virtually. Sometimes they're held in person, though, at schools and churches. We offer that. So if anyone's interested, we can always provide speakers. We are primarily a resource. Even though we've gone through suicide loss and we've learned a lot over 10 years, we don't see ourselves as the experts, but we have a lot of experts, and we provide speakers for panels for school districts and communities and churches. I think those are the primary things that we do. We have task forces that, we're always looking for volunteers for small jobs, and we've gotten some very good ones through Share Detroit, I would like to add. But we're looking for people who want to be committed to perhaps serving on a task force or a committee. We do have a big fundraiser in September called Starry Night that is a wonderful event. It's very important because it's how we pay for the conference in part, along with sponsorships. So working on that it's interesting and helpful. What I want to say is, I once had a friend who had lost someone, a child, and she said, I don't think I could work with Kevin's song because it would be too depressing. And what I want to say is, it is very uplifting when all these people come together, like at our conference where we had probably 50 volunteers. It's just a warm, nurturing, comforting atmosphere. And I want people to know that if they sign up to work with Kevin's song, they'll have a lot of fun and meet a lot of nice people.
Kevinsong.org is the website for more information. Gail, thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Again, kevinsong.org. On their homepage, you can find more information on their listing for their executive director position. You can also call them for more information on the executive director position, the resources, and more at 313-236-7109. We'll take a break on the Megacast. On the other side, Garrett Passiak from Detroit City Distillery joins us. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
Many people are feeling overwhelmed and struggling with mental wellness these days. So be kind to your mind. Give yourself permission to breathe. Share your feelings. You are not alone. Have hope. Talk to a Stay Well counselor for free confidential help 24/7 through the COVID-19 hotline.
Ronnie started doing prescription pills at the age of 15. And by 19, he died. If your child is struggling with drug use, try not to be too proud to reach out for help. Don't be worried about what the neighbor will think or your family. Just get your child the help they need. Sometimes it's the hard road to take, but the hard road is nothing compared to living with the fact that your child is no longer with you.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live daily TV, radio, and streaming show talking about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more on our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find more information on all of our partnering stations across the Great Lakes State, including My Michigan TV, and find all of our full shows and each individual interview on demand as well. civiccentertv.com/megacast for all of that. Well, we're at that time of the year. Once again, Pączki Day is coming up, and with Pączki Day comes their specialty Pączki Day vodka from Detroit City Distillery. Joining us now to talk about that and preview this year's edition is Garrett Passiak, brand ambassador with Detroit City Distillery. Garrett, thanks for being with us again. Glad to have you on with us today, Garrett. And so we know that this is all coming up, and the specialty vodka is released at a special time on a special day, and it all goes pretty quickly. Can you tell us when that day is and how people can get access to purchasing this product?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. This is an amazing day. This is our favorite part of the year, especially for myself because I'm Polish. So what we have 2 specialty vodkas that we're going to be releasing here on February 3rd. Goes on sale on February 3rd at 8 a.m. So I always tell individuals, if you listen to me, you will get your vodka. You want to wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, hop online, keep refreshing. And then what you'll do, you will have access to our, again, limited edition Pączki vodka. We've got a very, very special treat this year. We are going to release our horseradish vodka as well, okay? So if you're a Bloody Mary fan, also going ahead and doing that, you will be a very, very big fan of this one as well. This one is going to go quick, as well, of course, as the Pączki vodka that we have here. So February 3rd, 8 a.m., DetroitCityDistillery.com. You definitely want to get on there as early as you can, refresh, make sure that you go ahead and get your hands on this horseradish vodka, the Pączki vodka. Not only that, these Polish Bloody Marys, boom, ready to go cocktails. Also, we have a Polish Daisy cocktail right here. Got a nice lemon, vanilla flavor to that with the Pączki. And then, of course, go out to the store, get yourself some cream soda, Faygo, add a little bit of that Pączki vodka, pomegranate juice. This is what we call the Compo Cream Soda. So that's how you go ahead and get it. Yep.
Yeah, and it's a great way to celebrate Pączki Day and also celebrate in a way that is uniquely Detroit, because not only did you present your products, of course, the Pączki Day vodka, and now the new horseradish vodka as well. Both are coming out, as Garrett said, 8 a.m. on February 3rd online on the website, DetroitCityDistillery.com, but also suggesting mixing one of these drinks with Faygo, which is another great Detroit product. And that's what's awesome about all your products, is that they are made right here in Michigan, right here in Detroit, and in-house at your brewery.
Right, that's where you pride ourselves too, is the Pączkis that we use are from New Palace Bakery in Hamtramck. And so we have a blend of imported Polish vodka, potato vodka, as well as Michigan potato vodka. So we like to keep it all 100% Michigan in a bottle with just an addition of Poland right there.
And so, Garrett, we've had you on to talk about this before, but it's really interesting how you make these specialty liquors, whether it be Pączki Day vodka for this particular occasion on February 3rd when it's released, or the honey bourbon that's made with B's and the D earlier on in the year that also has its own special release date. So how is this Pączki vodka produced?
So how you make Pączki vodka is, what we do is we go to New Palace Bakery and we have 18 dozen Pączkis, raspberry Pączkis from New Palace, and we have a still. What we literally do is we break up those Pączkis, put them into the still, load in the vodka, go ahead, evaporate that, still that out, shine it out to a perfect 88 proof style of vodka with a little bit of that nice Pączki dough and raspberry flavoring. That's why it complements so well with a little bit of cream soda. It's Pączki in a glass right here. Polish Daisy, it's got that nice vanilla flavor. It's got that nice lemon to it. We do the same thing with the horseradish too. Shave off that horseradish just like we put in Pączkis, except we do horseradish. Evaporate that out, and boom, you've got an 88 proof, very, very flavorful, tasty horseradish vodka that complements that the Bloody Mary mix that we put into that Polish Bloody Mary right there.
Made with the finest Pączki in the land from New Palace Bakery in Hamtramck. Their raspberry Pączki then infused into this vodka by Detroit City Distillery. You can purchase your bottle or bottles on their website, DetroitCityDistillery.com. That happens on Friday morning, February 3rd at 8 a.m. And as Garrett said, get there a little bit earlier on the website and keep refreshing as you approach 8 a.m. because this vodka goes very quickly. And when you have these specialty drinks, especially the special Fat Tuesday drink, the Pączki vodka, Garrett, just how quickly, when you say it goes quickly, how quickly does it go?
It's tough to say. The cocktails fly off the shelf, as we call it, meaning the online shelf. You want to get on there. It might be gone in 2 hours. All right. Pick up again is at 4 o'clock on the 3rd. But the main thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and enjoy the cocktails. The big party is February 18th, Saturday. That starts at 10 a.m. So we're having drinks. We're having the Compound Cream Soda, the Polish Daisy. We're going to have Bloody Marys. We're going to have pierogies over on site. We got a nice little pop-up. But yeah, as far as how quick it goes out, I'd say, last year was about 2 hours. So that's how, when I say, if you listen to me, you will get it. Make sure you are up at 7 o'clock on the computer at 7:30. Grab a cup of coffee. Go ahead, keep refreshing and clicking, and you will go ahead and get your hands on some of these.
The Pączki Day vodka and their new hometown horseradish vodka, both $35 per bottle on their website, DetroitCityDistillery.com. The Pączki Day vodka released at 8 a.m. this week, Friday, February 3rd, 8 a.m. on their website, DetroitCityDistillery.com. And Garrett, a couple more minutes. You mentioned the celebration is going to be on Saturday, the 18th. Again, tell us about that and how people can attend also in the last couple minutes we have here.
It's a classic Eastern Market Detroit City Distillery party. We're all big solidarity around Eastern Market. Everyone's always in Eastern Market in the sheds shopping. We got Eastern Market Brewing Company across the street. So all you have to do, get to the market early, find some parking, just take a walk, not only to Detroit City Distillery, but just go visit all the sheds, all the shops. But definitely, I think the number one thing that's going to be happening on the 18th is the Pączki Vodka release party. We're going to have music. Again, we're going to have Erica making her pierogies from Detroit Pierogi. And it's just going to be a great fun time, cocktails, and big open in the street, open in the bar. It's going to be a really, really fun time. So
the Pączki from Hamtramck and the Pączki Vodka from Detroit with Detroit City Distillery, their celebration on Saturday, February 18th at Eastern Market, and the release of the Pączki Day vodka is on Friday, February 3rd, 8 a.m. Go to their website, DetroitCityDistillery.com for more information. Garrett, thank you so much for joining us as always.
Thank you guys so much. We're looking forward to seeing everyone on the 3rd and on the 18th. So come out and visit us, guys.
Yeah, always a fun time with Detroit City Distillery and great products too as well. We had a couple of people from our team purchase the Pączki Day vodka last year and they had nothing but good things to say about all of that. So we appreciate Garrett joining us as always to tell us all the fun things happening at Detroit City Distillery. That is going to do it for today's edition of the program. A programming note, we will have tomorrow off as we upgrade some of our equipment here at our flagship Civic Center TV in the greater West Bloomfield area to make your experience watching our original programming, including 90 minutes of live news and talk coverage Monday through Friday every morning, here that much better. So no show on Wednesday. We'll have either this show repeating or other great original programming from in our local area to replace it on Wednesday morning, and we'll return Thursday with a new episode of the Megacast.